Today's video is going to be a lot of fun. I've got both of Hoyt's 2023 flagship bows going head to head for a comparison, the Carbon RX7 Ultra and the VTM 34. This is a video that I never expected to be able to make. I bought my RX7 Ultra last year, absolutely loved it. I had multiple successful hunts with it and really had no plans to upgrade or buy another bow. I was really fortunate and ended up winning a contest from Dan Staten over at Elk Shape along with Cam Haynes. And that's how I ended up with the VTM 34. I'm not sponsored by Hoyt. I'm not a pro staff shooter. And to have multiple bows from the same year is not something that I really expected. However, now that I own both and they're set up identical, I have a decision to make. Which one of these am I taking hunting this year? Okay, so starting with the RX7 Ultra, this is Hoyt's carbon riser bow. It's got a 34-inch axle to axle, 7-inch brace height. The weight comes in at 4.3 pounds, and the ATA speed rating is 334 feet per second. MSRP on this bow is $2,000. For the VTM 34, this is Hoyt's aluminum riser bow. The axle to axle is 33 3/4 inches. The ATA speed rating is 334 feet per second. It's got a 6 1/4 inch brace height and the weight comes in at 4.8 pounds. MSRP on this bow is $1,500. So before we get to shooting, check out this VTM 34. This is the Cam Haynes edition. So it has the Origin Raptor camo on the riser. Red strings and cables, black limbs. This color combo looks unreal. This is the first one I'd seen in person. So that Cam Haynes trademark, keep hammering, is up there on the top of the limbs. That looks really cool. We're gonna start with the VTM 34, and just before we even get going, both of these bows are set up exactly the same. They have the same Option6S Sight, they have the same Hamskea Trinity rest, the Option Archery equalizer, and then a Mountain Series stabilizer by AAE. Both of them are set at my draw length, which is 31 inches, and both bows are bottomed out, pulling exactly 83 pounds. So this is as close of a apples to apples comparison as I can give you. So first off, starting with the balance, these new grips from Hoyt feel fantastic. When you have it out, you can feel the weight of the bow wanting to go forward a little bit. It's not drastic. I do have this bow set up how I like it weight-wise at full draw, but you can definitely feel that it does have a little bit of weight and does want to lean forward. Okay, so we're going to get an arrow through it. The draw cycle is so smooth, even rolling over the top and then getting to the back wall. I didn't even feel it. It just gets to this back wall, stops and holds so well. It balances so good. Really, really quiet and very minimal hand shock, if any. Not what you'd expect from a bow like this that shoots this fast. These arrows, they're 510 grains. When I was at the pro shop shooting this through paper, we chronoed a few of these, and this arrow shot at 315 feet per second, which that's just insane for a bow that's not even marketed as Hoyt's speed bow. This one is maxed out in both senses. These cams max out at 31 inches. That's my draw length. And the 80-pound limbs bottomed all the way out, giving me 83 pounds. It really is sending these arrows extremely fast. Smooth all the way, there it is. Rolls over so smooth. And this back wall, I could hold this for minutes. Like, you just don't realize that it's 83 pounds. So impressive. Now we have the RX7 Ultra. Again, this is the bow that I have way more experience with in the field, had multiple hunts with, multiple successful hunts this last year. Right away, I will say that that half-pound difference is very noticeable. I know that I could hold this bow up and out way longer than I could that VTM 34. That 8-ounce difference, it is something that you are going to feel. The bow feels very, very balanced. It's not wanting to go forward nearly as much as the VTM 34 does. Let's put an arrow through this one. Same exact arrows. When I had this up at the shop and chronoed this setup, this bow shot these arrows at 299 feet per second. So it is shooting them slower than the VTM 34 for some reason, but 299 feet per second is still very, very fast for a 510 grain arrow. Smooth, smooth, smooth. They're the same exact cam system, so I will say that I didn't expect it to be different. Hold right here, you know, I can just watch the bubble on this sight and it is not moving at all. When it comes to sound, hand shock vibration, they're so minimal that it's no wonder that neither of the deer that I shot this year jumped the string. I had full pass-throughs. There was no ducking, no jumping strings, and just an extremely quiet bow that shoots very, very fast. Really impressed with it. When it comes to the hold of the weight as well as the balance, shooting them back to back is something that I can really tell the difference of. This RX7, that half pound, you don't think it's gonna make as much of a difference, but when you're shooting them back to back, you absolutely can feel it. I just feel like I could sit here as long as I really needed to. It holds so well. You know, again, I have this bow set up how I found the balance to be perfect, and this is really showing it. So impressed, but let's shoot the other one as well, just so that we have another back-to-back. So we've got the VTM 34 again. Go ahead and put this arrow in it. Now both of these bows are set at 85% let off, but it does feel like the back wall and the hold of the VTM 34 it feels like a heavier hold. It's not unbearable by any means, but some of y'all are really gonna want that back wall to be something that's, you're pulling against it. You don't want it to be a really light string. That's a big difference between these two. Even with the same cam systems, the back wall on the VTM 34 is significantly stiffer. I feel like being able to pull through the shot, this string is ready for you to pull through the shot. Whereas with the RX7, sitting back there, I could hold it considerably longer. And it does surprise me that both of them are at 85% let off, but they have such a different feel when I'm at full draw, especially for an extended period of time. So let's do one more. I'm gonna shoot the RX7 again. So again, real smooth rollover, but right here, I'm not feeling this string really wanting to fight against me. Still very quiet, still zero hand shock, but it's gonna be a feel decision for you. As far as my decision, we're a month away from a turkey hunt. So Amy Jo and I are meeting with a friend of ours in Colorado. We're bow hunting turkeys, and that's gonna be the first time where I'm gonna be able to take the VTM 34 out into the mountains and see how I like that. You know, whether it's the weight, carrying that through the mountains, how's it shooting? Is a faster bow gonna be more ideal there? Because you can't get around it. That VTM is shooting faster than the RX7. After that, we're going to Total Archery Challenge. So we're going to be at the Utah event in Park City. Again, that's another decision of which one of these am I going to feel more comfortable shooting all day. And then from there, September rolls around, and that's when we've got a pocket full of tags, and I'm going to have a decision prior to going out to Colorado for those hunts. It's going to be close. It is going to be a field decision, and I think that's the case for all of us whenever we're buying bows. You don't get married to a brand specifically. You don't buy something just because you like the way that it looks. You need to shoot them all, and that's my advice for all of you that are in the market for a bow right now, whether it's one of your first bows or if you're upgrading for this hunting season. Go to your pro shop and shoot everything. If you really like the Hoyts, if you get down to these two, or if you've shot them and it's something that you are still looking for a little bit of help on that decision, what I can say is how these two bows are set up. The VTM 34 is shooting faster. It also feels heavier. You do have that half-pound difference of overall weight. The back wall is also going to feel significantly heavier and harder. That's a feel thing. You know, when it comes, are you kidding me? It's 5 o'clock in Texas and our rooster, it's 5 o'clock. I'm gonna shoot that bird. So at this point, you're probably still wondering, is the RX7 Ultra worth $500 more than the VTM 34? My answer simply is yes. It's a lighter bow, it's a carbon riser, it has great feel to it, but I'm not necessarily gonna say that it's the better bow. It feels more like a sports car. It is smoother, lighter, whereas the VTM 34 is more of like a raw muscle car feel to it. It's heavier, it has a more aggressive back wall, and that's why this is really gonna come down to personal preference. Go to your pro shop, shoot them both. Between these two, you really cannot go wrong. I'm still undecided as far as which bow I'm gonna be using this hunting season, but this is an incredible problem to have, deciding between the Hoyt RX7 Ultra and the Hoyt VTM 34. I hope this video was helpful for anyone considering either of these two bows. I definitely have a heck of a decision to make. This is gonna be my first turkey hunt. Which one of these two should I even take? I don't know which one is the better fit. Drop me a comment down below, and if I left anything out on this review, please let me know so I can do a follow-up.